Right now, Minecraft is going through a golden era of Minecraft updates. They have added beautiful features that the community could have never seen coming. But there are certain oversights in the game that just slip by the developers and would love to be seen in a quality of life update similar to that of 1.13, which, in my opinion, is an underrated update because it basically changed a bunch of things and also fixed many bugs that have been around for years. Alright, let's get on. So the first one, you've probably seen a million people mentioned thousands of times, and that's just feather falling. Not being able to break crops, which would honestly be a life changer. And moving on. And another beautiful that they're doing is they're adding, or I should say they have added, the cherry blossom leaves, which are amazing and are the only leaves that are not green, which is absolutely beautiful, and I want this trend to continue. And over here, I have had really bad experience with this. So basically, before my single player world corrupted due to large file size, thank you Minecraft Bedrock Edition, I found a Guardian Temple, and thanks to a cartographer, and thanks to Bugrock Edition, none of the Guardians spawned, and due to my terrible luck, there were 0 sponge rooms. 0. So sponges in that world were just not a thing. And the nearest one of these was a million blocks out, because that world did not have a single desert, a single body of water for millions of blocks out, and it was so painful. And then it corrupted due to the large file size. Thank you, Minecraft Bugrock Edition. Now this is another one that many people have said a million times, but they're absolutely right. They need colored concrete, colored terracotta in the form of stairs, walls, and slabs. Moving on. I absolutely messed that up. I messed that up again. This is pain. There we go. Now this one also applies similar to the Guardian one, where in fact I have had really bad experience with this. Especially if you're in the speedrunning community, this sucks. Finding a fortress, a nether fortress in Minecraft absolutely sucks. There is no way for a compass or a villager to sell a map. Even if you did, maps do not work in the nether. If there was some kind of compass or any sort of method you could use in order to find this stupid structure, which for me spawned out millions of blocks away, also increasing the file size of that one world, which eventually did corrupt. And what they have done with the sniffer is beautiful, but it could be changed. They added the torch flower and the pitcher pod, which, don't get me wrong, are great, even though they are hard to attain, but I really wish they added some sort of block to go with this. Anyway, moving on. Another thing I absolutely hate. You see those blocks down there? Those are 1.20 blocks. And in order to get those blocks, well, minus the chiseled bookshelf now that I realize it, and the pot, and the bamboo, but that's not the point. Okay. So, the fact is, in order to get a lot of these new features, you have to load new chunks, which absolutely sucks. Because, large file sizes increases the rate of single-player worlds crashing, and I've had really bad experience with that, and I don't want any young 5-year-old to go through this again. Anyway, moving on. So this is probably the most controversial and largest take I think you're ever going to like hear me say in this video. But one thing I wish they really did was give the player some way of making music discs. Not already existing ones, but player-made ones. Granted, we already have note blocks, but the note blocks run on a system of ticks, and if we had a fun user interface where you could just have a bunch of bar lines of music, and you could set the BPM, and you could do all this fancy stuff with music, which is super complicated, but I really want to see it. Especially since the note block system can't do everything. And here, so right now there's a bug on Bedrock Edition, which is super annoying, where slimes and magma cubes do not drop loot. And me and my friend built a slime farm. We mined out an entire chunk from sky height to bedrock, and 0 results. Because for some reason, due to a Minecraft bug, these two mobs do not drop slime balls. And also for some reason, the baby forms take 2 hits to kill with a sharp 5 netherite sword. And I don't know what that's about. Anyway, oh no. We're entering the community. Oh, that looked epic in RTX. Anyway, so this is not really a Minecraft change, this is more of a community change. But depending on the circumstances, mending bows can be as good as infinity bows. Now that's controversial, but let's say you have a piglin bartering farm and you have millions and millions of arrows, and one thing you don't have is an XP farm. And in Minecraft Bedrock Edition, XP farms suck and break every single update. We used to use furnace bugs, but they've been taken away from the game, then put back, and then it's just a constant reversal. And it's very, they don't stay, is what I'm getting at. Anyway, and down here, Minecraft has always been regarded, since its creation, that it feels like a horror game almost. Now that may seem strange, but the reason is the only sounds going around you are footsteps and maybe some mobs in the background if you're lucky. But Minecraft can be like really scary, especially with cave sounds. I don't know what they were thinking with cave sounds. And one thing that should absolutely be added is leaves making a little brush sound, like they're going through the wind. Almost kind of like what Terraria did when they added wind and windy days. And this is controversial, and I know this is never going to happen, but I want it on Bedrock Edition so bad. I want furnace minecarts. In the early game, Java players, when transporting villagers, can just put villagers in a minecart and then transport them to their base. And you would say, oh, why don't you just use redstone powdered rails? Well, those are expensive. Like, more expensive than iron rails, because gold is actually really hard to find, especially in 1.18. Like, I went mining down for gold in the overworld, and absolutely do not do that. Don't. If you're going to go for gold, just mine in the nether. It might be more dangerous, but it's more risk. And the furnace minecart just pushes mobs in the early game so much easier. Yippee! And the second one. Here we go. So, back in, what? The Busy Bees update? Or maybe it was Village and Pillage. We had, Bedrock Edition had this beautiful, absolutely beautiful bug where we could harness the power of gassed fireballs by directing each fireball into a direction and have it float up in a bubble column and hit a specific area of blocks. And the blocks would have a 100% drop rate of items. And in Java, you just have TNT to do this. But in Bedrock, we don't have that. We still have the old version. When it seems like a simple change to just have every single item drop. But that's just simply not there. Kaboom? Yes, Rico. Kaboom. I forgot I was in creative mode the whole time. Plot twist.